Hi, Guido Fox here. Welkom bij een nieuwe boekreport. Today I want to discuss Breaking Patterns, 200 pages of information, how to break your patterns in life. And this book is about scheme, therapy, and coping styles. And I think you're saying, what the fuck is this? So, we're gonna talk about coping styles, scheme therapy, to understand your blockades. And if you understand your blockades in life, your emotional blockades in life, and your blockades who were born in your past, then you can break your patterns. That is interesting information and it is important because the most people are thinking, oh, I want to break patterns, and we go for it and we change our lives and we do this and we do this and we do another direction, and then they fall back. The most people are falling back in their old patterns, and that is because of the cause why you have those patterns and why you behave as the way you behave and why you fall back. So it is interesting to go fundamentally to the source of why you cannot break your patterns. That's the book. That's why this book, that's what this book is about. About a fundamental way to break your patterns and why you're not breaking your patterns because of old toxic survival coping style strategies. And with scheme therapy, we can dissolve this. That's a little bit a short summary about this book. Let's start and work this out. I read this book and there are a lot of subtitles from the subtitles and the subtitles, so I have to be some reorganization here, some structuring in this book. So I let you know some things, and I work with 1, 2, and 3 and some subtitles. You will see it, you will see it. So first I talk with you about coping styles and breaking patterns, and I talk later what coping styles is and what it is exactly. Coping styles are actually survival strategies. So from your youth, from your being in toxic systems, school, family, friends, matrix makes you toxic. You traumatic experiences, you create survival strategies. So coping styles are survival strategies. And that survival strategies leads to the fact that you cannot change your patterns. So that's the link in this book. Survival strategies are the blockades to move further in life. So what are those strategies are? And the biggest strategy is overcompensation. And you see a lot of overcompensation. And I tell you some overcompensation. The first overcompensation is that you're showing off in your life so much. You're doing tough to the outside world. So you walk like this on the street, or you show off with your knowledge, or you show off that you're the best in the class, or you show off to others. That is one survival strategy, to show off, to create a wall around you, and to become arrogant. And that's actually an overcompensation from your insecurity about yourself and your low self-esteem. So if you behave like that, you're showing off all the time, then you probably have a low esteem, a low self-esteem, and insecurity complex. You second survival mechanism, overcompensation, is subordination, is that you are always subordination, that you're always seeing yourself lower than the other. So this time is not showing off and you feel better than others, but is that you feeling lower than someone else and that you always are the slave. You're always the giving slave, the please slave. That's please behavior. So another survival strategy is to not fall out of the group, or you want to become by the group, and you have also low self-esteem, is that you become the pleaser. So that's the please survival strategy. You have also the adjuster. The third one is the adjuster, that you always, it's a kind of please mechanism, but you always change your personality towards the group, what the group is find acceptable. So you're losing yourself actually. So if the family are saying this and I agree, I'm so agree with you, I'm so agree what you're saying, grandmother and grandfather, and you're always in line with that meaning, then you are probably an adjuster. You are always adjust. That's the third overcompensation. And the fourth one is to be modest. You're always modest. You're not telling so much about yourself. You're holding yourself in. You live a suppressed life and you don't share a lot. En you stay altijd bescheiden. In Dutch we say, hij is altijd zo bescheiden gebleven. And that's not good. You're too modest. You're too introvert. You're too by yourself and you're not someone who can share. So that's the fourth one, is that you're too modest in this world. The fifth one is that you fall in the trap of onderpresteren in Dutch, is that you prestate on a lower level. You are going in a laziness mood. You are on the school and you're not reaching your level, but you're gonna go for grades at 4 or 5 because you're lazy and you don't want to be seen as a striving student, because if the group is seeing that, they put you down. So what you're doing, you adjust in a kind of way to prestate under your level, and you do that with a reason to become part of the group. You're tough because you hold low grades on the school and not showing your real self and your real level. So that's also kind of overcompensation to become part of the group, right? So underpresteren is something very interesting, what you see also a lot by high gifted people. This is another subject, but you're so fed up with the system that you prestate on a very low level. This is some 5 overcompensation, survival strategies, how to survive in the matrix, and how to survive. That's are the coping styles, right? Now I want to talk with you about the 3 modi. What is the cause of these survival strategies? What is the cause about these survival strategies? And there are 3. One is the child modi. The second is the critical modi. And the third one is the coping modi. And I want to discuss the 3 of you. All the 3. One is the child modi. Secondly, the critical modi. And third is the coping modi. So keep that in mind. 3 modi. The child, the critical, and the coping modi. And those 3 modis from the past can interfere in each other. You can have your own coping modi, but you can have also your critical modi, or you can also have your child modi. And these modis leads to the overcompensations, leads to the 5 overcompensations, and leads to the survival strategies, and leads to the coping styles, right? I hope everything is clear now. First one, the child modi. The child modi missed safety in his life, the basic attitudes you need, the basic needs in life. So the child modi missed safety, emotional safety, physical safety, touching safety, and leads to emotional abusement. So the child didn't felt safe in his family, didn't felt on his place in his family, in his raising up family. And he missed consolation, troost. Nobody was caring for the child. No one was hugging him. No one was listening to the child. Nobody could love the child or ask the child, how is it going with you? Can I support you? Can I help you? Can I touch you? Can I hug you? So the child modi, where all those survival mechanisms is coming from, missed stability in his life, emotional caringness and emotional stability in his life. He is hurted and he can be angry in his adult life. He can be impulsive. He can be undisciplined in his life. He can be pamper in his life. Hij kan verwend zijn in het leven. He can lead to procrastination, uitstelgedrag. He can be shameful for his past. He can be feel lonely because he was always lonely as a child. He can be fearful for rejection, fearful that someone leaves him because his parents was not there for him or her. So he is afraid to be left. He is verdrietig, he is hurt, he had tears. The inner child in the child has tears in his eyes. Verdrietig. He has to stay on wary, op zijn hoede zijn. Always wary that someone is hurting him or wary that someone is leaving him. He is sensitive for reactions. He can be paranoia, achterdochtig, that someone wants to hurt him. So that is the summary from the child modi, the survival strategies of the child modi. There was no emotional stable love. Maybe some love, but it was unpredictable. The mother can be very shouting, or the father, and then it was nice, and then shouting, emotional instability. So the child was moving from left to right. That's number 1, the child modi. So if you know that you're child modi, we have to work together, and then we can tackle this youth problems, these causes, and then we can move further. And then we can see how we can break the patterns in this life. The second one is the critical modi, and you can have your child modi and your critical modi next to each other. The critical modi is always existing in abusement in school, abusement in family systems, and emotional abusement, in pesten, in hurting each other. And from that cause, you become self-critical. You punish yourself. You get used to be punished by your mother or your father or your school teacher or your kind of friends who were hurting you, and you punish yourself. You're used to get punished. So you go in the same trap. You're used to get punished, and you become also critical about yourself. And from that, you become also critical on others. So if you're very critical and perfectionistic on yourself, you transfer that mostly also to other people, and you can become very demanding. You become very demanding towards others. And you live a very suppressed life. You work probably very hard and you suppress your emotions. You live a suppressed life. You work very hard. The worker here. You punish yourself with working so hard. And you give others guilty feelings. You demand a lot, but you give also guilty feelings to your colleagues or the people you give leading to. From, hey, you have to work hard, otherwise you're lazy, or otherwise you're this. So you'll give also guilty feelings towards others. That is the main point of the critical mode next to the child mode. Yeah? So you have the child mode, the critical mode, and that can exist next to each other. The third one is the coping mode. And the coping mode is in survival strategy is that you have always had to be protected against difficult situations. So you had a lot of difficult situations in your life and you created a wall around you. You created a wall and you protect yourself by hitting yourself back out of the world, out of your social groups, and you live a very self-independent life. So you're going back into your hole where everything is kind of safe and you have a wall around you, emotional, physical. You hit yourself back in your hole, but also a wall of aggressiveness. If you're very aggressive, this mode is aggressive, verbally or physical, you want to punch people away, or you're verbally aggressive, you punch people away. So you are living a life of falling back on yourself and paranoia. You're very paranoia. You think everyone wants to fight against me. And you reject, you avoid sensitive topics in your life. You don't want to go inside and don't want to hire a coach because you're avoiding that hurting topics. You are turning around things. You are playing the boss very heavily, very strong. You play the boss, and that is actually the wall around you. You're very cynical, you make cynical jokes, and you have shown not a lot of emotions because if you're showing emotions, you become more vulnerable. A lot of times in this mode, there are parentification. You had to deal with difficult situations and you became already a parent for yourself and also maybe for others in your life. So parentification, you were a very young parent. What it has to be not be the case, right? You have to be your parents, your warm, lovable parents, and enjoy that period. But you were already in early stage. You were already a parent, parentification, and later problems are coming from that factor because you missed the warmth and cariness from your parents. So you're taking it not into your into your life. So that's are the three modis, right? The critical, the coping modi, and the child modi. And you see a lot of times that they're interfering each other and they're combined in a person. And this modis, this coping styles leads to the strategies, the survival strategies, the toxic survival strategies, and that leads that you not can change your life, not can change yourself. And if you can't change yourself, you cannot change the outside world, because the outside world is a reflection from your energy. So if you have good energy, if you have non-toxicity in your dustbin, in your body, then the world is reflecting back. So these modis are all the survival strategies together in once. It was quite difficult to make here a good summary of this book, but I hope you understand that levels, and hope you understand that survival strategies are blockade to change your patterns. Thank you for watching this video, and see you by the next one. Bye bye.